I believe I was around 18 years of age. I was a senior in high school, but before that there was another diagnosis made as well. This allowed me to get accommodations in school.
They call this a fidget spinner, and Alyssa Karsagi is clearly working it overtime. You can tell right away when you talk to her she is a very smart woman, but, well, a little different.
I have been diagnosed with autism, yes. High-functioning autism, Asperger's.
Alyssa is in the midst of a nasty custody fight for her 2 little boys in Aggieland, in a case that's raising all kinds of new questions in our widening family injustice investigation. Questions about autism, religion, conflicts of interest.
I'm not very good at standing up for myself.
Longtime friend Jamie Curtis says what's happening in this courthouse in Bryan should be exposed.
She's been drugged through the court system, made penniless, and basically lawyerless at this point. You know, there's got to be a better way.
Alyssa has only seen her children once in 3 months, 92 days to be exact, for just 2 hours. She was accused of somehow alienating her tiny little children.
Her situation is catastrophic. I think what she's going through is terrible. And I think that she can help future mothers.
And when they took them, they were 1 and 2. And the 1-year-old was still breastfeeding. And I didn't get to breastfeed him again.
They're taking 2 happy little boys away from their mom that loves them to pieces and would do anything for them, and giving them to somebody who could care less about them.
Alyssa's college roommate is springing to her defense.
It's disgusting. I assume that the law is here to protect people and keep people safe, and I have never seen so much corruptness in one little bitty area that would rip away a breastfeeding child from their mom.
And I'm afraid that something bad is going to happen to them.
That's because the kids are now living with their father, and his sworn deposition in the case, well, it's scary. Quoting, "How many times since you have been married to Alyssa have you put a gun to your head approximately?" "I don't know," he responded. "Would you say more than 10 times? He says maybe between 10 and 20. Dad admitted pulling the gun at least once in front of his wife and also one of his little boys.
It was very traumatizing. There were many incidents. He testified it was about 10 to 20, but it was more like 20 to 40.
That's why the sworn affidavit of this woman is so bizarre. It's Brazos County psychologist Kim Arredondo, hired to evaluate who should get final custody. Quoting, "All of the people I've interviewed at the request of Alyssa strongly believe that Effie is a danger to Alyssa and the children, and some even to them. But Arredondo worries instead that the gun thing could give Alyssa an excuse to run away with the kids. Why shouldn't she? Guess she thinks the in-ground swimming pool she worries about in the affidavit is scarier for kids than some guy with a gun." Arredondo was appointed in early July. 6 months later, still no final report. That's too long. Amanda Matsky is the judge in the Brazos County Court, but her associate judge, Wendy Wood Henserling, has made many of the controversial decisions. Maybe you don't remember seeing Judge Henserling's name on the Brazos County ballot, and you didn't because no one elected her. Yet Texas law gives associate judges, appointed judges, the power to take away your kids. That should be stopped. First of all, there's no direct way to hold her accountable for what she does. And second, Texas law does not require associate judges to admit any financial disclosure, to know what their possible conflicts can be. That should be stopped too. In cases like this, there's also a lawyer appointed to represent the best interest of the children. Jana Foreman is her name in this case. But why is she even in this case? Foreman once worked for C.E. Borman and Associates. Who's C.E. Borman? Well, that's Chana Borman. And she's the lawyer for the father in this case. The pair used to be co-counsel in other divorce cases. They are conflicts that should have been disclosed, even disqualifying.
How can there not be a biased relationship? How can there be a clear decision? How can she make decisions that are in the best interest of the kids whenever she has that prior tie?
We wonder the same thing. Alyssa has a hard time looking at the memories of much better times. 92 days without seeing her own babies.
What has happened seems very extreme, seems very wrong. I'm a very logical person, and I like to follow a logical train of thought. And I have not been able to make sense out of anything that has happened.
I've never seen the way that they rip somebody to shreds who has never done anything wrong.
You may notice from Alyssa's clothing she is religiously conservative, an Orthodox Jew in fact. Another reason she is different in a place like Brazos County. Her husband is a Baptist. So you think this Aggieland court is a little too much of the good old boy system?
Very much good old boy.
We know the judge won't take what her friends say out on Alyssa because we're going to be watching very closely. So should voters. So should the autism community, the Jewish community, because there's not much more Alyssa can lose in this case, other than a chance to be a mom again.
I need help because I'm not very good at these types of things. I'm not very good at standing up for myself. I'm not very good at knowing what I'm supposed to do, especially in a very difficult situation like this.
None of the legal players in this Brazos County courthouse controversy are willing to talk with us. Too bad.
This is not about me. This is about these two beautiful boys and what's best for them, and I am genuinely concerned for their safety and their well-being.
So are we.